Hey out there, I hope you guys liked the rattlesnake eggs video that I put out last week. I know it was a little longer than I originally thought, but this week I have a recipe for chefs at restaurants and home chefs alike. This is literally years in the making. It's my take on potato gratin. It can go as a side, or this can also go as a main or a très pas hors d'oeuvre. I call them impacted potato gratin. And what we're going to do is take these potatoes, form them with this dough cut here, slice them micro thin on the mandolin, spin them in that salad spinner, and then slowly taper them into the mini muffin tins over there. Some fresh herbs, parsley, micro thyme, grated Swiss cheese. Initially what we want to do is get some biscuit cuts. I like this brand. They can insert their logo here, but these are just biscuit punches, and I'm going to use 3 different sizes. I'm going to use the extra large, the medium, and the small. Get rid of the middle one, and punch out my potatoes and my sweet potatoes and my beet. My russet potatoes, these are going to be the biggest, and I'm also going to make sure and cut 3 sizes of my russets. And I want to match them up and make sure that these punches are going to get all the way to the edge of the potato. So I know that that'll work. So there are my 3 russets. And then I need to make sure that all I'm going to cut with the small punch is the sweet potato. So I won't be cutting the large size, just small punch to the sweet potato and the beets. That being said, the first thing you want to do to get these potatoes punchable is cut a flat on the bottom. So I find my flattest part of the potato, which if you just let the potato roll around on the board, it'll show you where the flat part of it is. I'm going to make a real soft cut there, just so it sits perfectly. And I might cut the top off, just because this is so round. I want it about that deep. So I'm going to cut this off so that when I go to punch this potato with the dough cut, I don't have to go through all this unevenness that you can see there, I'm hoping. So we'll just lop the top off of that, save these pieces, and then that's what I'm looking at, basically a tater that big piece of potato cut out. I'm going to move to this one. A little trick on making the potato easy to get out of the punch once you've punched it is to take some canola oil and just spread it around the inside of your dough punch. That way the potato will come out easy. Sometimes it can be hard if you don't do that to get the potato back out. So flattest part of the tater, incision there, and I'm not going to worry about cutting any more of that off the top. I know I can get it, so make sure that goes in all at once. Drop it down to the board just like that. Spin, pop it out. You got potato there, and hockey puck shaped piece I want, just like that. Comes out easy with the oil. Love that. And my small punch into my small tater, cutting off the bottom, and just a little flat to set it on, and I think I can get 2 discs out here. to really pack the inside of it. Oh, that's tough. There we go. Easy pieces thanks to the oil. Re-oil that so that and here's my pucks. Russet potatoes. So I have 2 smalls, a medium, and my large here. I've set the depth of my mandolin already to somewhere around a 1/2 millimeter. I use one of those to calibrate it. And how do you know? How do you know when you're thin enough? You know when you're thin enough because your slice of potato at that point will be thin enough that you can read a cookbook through it. So that's how thin you want it. I mean, extremely so. Oops. I would say, hopefully that reads on camera. You can see those letters. That's how thin I want it. So I take my large potato and simply get as many pieces as I can. So we're going to wrap this up. We dough cut 3 different sized russet potatoes and 1 different sized yam and beet. And now we're going to salad spin all these and lay them out on paper towels to get them just as dry as possible. So I have my potatoes in salt water. There's my big russets. Here's my medium size. And we're going to pack these in sequential order into our mini muffin tin over there. There's a medium size, and finally I have small size russets here. Alright, so to finish these, you can use clarified butter. I'm going to use olive oil, and I've got it in a little teeny dropper. But you can use a spoon. I've done that before. This just makes it easier to put like 2 drops each, or a minimal amount in the bottom of each muffin cup. That's why I like the dropper. And then I take my biggest size potato and slam them in there, just like that, on each tin. 1 of the big potatoes. Throw them down, and then come back and push them. And if they spring out a little bit at first, that's fine, don't worry. We're going to salt them, and they'll start to drop in there. So, going around and stuffing the biggest potato pieces I have first into each mini muffin spot. Just like that. Then we'll go over and salt them and herb them. Whoops. So I've got 1 layer big size russet discs and 2 layers of small. I go back and a drop of olive oil and start to layer these. I'm going to also put in a little teeny bit of Swiss cheese now. Just really finely grated and a minute, just like 2 shreds of cheese in each one of these. Not much at all. And if they're coming out, I'm putting them back in. Salt and pepper. A little bit of thyme in each cup. And then another. You shooting?
Yeah.
So now all my russet discs are used up, and I'm going to go back and cap this thing with the decorative colored potatoes and beets. We're putting on a drop of extra virgin olive oil. gather up my sweet potatoes, and I'll do 2 rows of these, and hopefully 2 rows of beets. Here's regulars. Come back a little thyme. I put a layer of parsley in the last one. And go back to thyme. Potato gratins are about to come out of the oven, and while they were in there, we broke down a lobster. Whenever I have beets, I want to have lobster. This recipe is an homage to the French Laundry, and there they serve a Paul Maxine with lobster in Vermont, poached in Vermont. Here we have impacted potato gratin and lobster poached in clarified butter. So this is how these look when they come out of there. Beautiful. And my purple. As you can see, they're little gorgeous potato tartlets. 3 different colors. Call them gratin petals or gratinlets. So these came out of the oven. We've got a plate with just the gratins on them to show you how versatile they are, and hopefully this ignites your imagination. And then I have a plate over here where I've set them up with a broken down and then put back together lobster on arugula. So these are the claw pieces, obviously, and the tail is in medallions. And Jessica is going to be our test audience and see how this thing tastes. I'm going to hand her a fork and shoot her. Alright. Do the beets and the lobster go good together? Mm-hmm. A la French Laundry.
Another one of these.
Yummy?